Where are the other kittens, huh? Hello, kittens. Finn. What do I make this week's episode about? What do I talk about? I don't really know. Nothing really has changed my life. More car troubles. That's fun. Cats, you know, the cats around. There's currently a cat under this couch right here. I don't know. There's nothing new in my life. There's nothing exciting. I got this sweet shirt though. It's a pretty swag shirt, if you ask me. Pretty neat print. Could be a cool phone background, I guess. I don't really know, people. I'm not really sure. Why not start off with a little bit of show and tell? You can't read that. It is backwards for you, but this says Robin. And this is Robin Williams' autobiography? Biography? Biography, because auto would be your own self. This is Robin Williams' biography, written by David Itzkoff. And on the back, I've got this recently at the Carmel Library near me with Sophie McGill, who was the guest on last week's episode. And I only really got it because of the people on the back. Steve Martin, Amy Poehler, Patton Oswalt, some other people, who cares? That got me to read it. And then as I started reading it, I just opened it to random places because I figured if I start reading from the beginning, it's gonna be slow and I would get into it and that's not fun. So I started from just in the middle, and I found myself really engaged in the book and not wanting to put it down. And I'll admit, I'm a person who's struggled with reading in the past. Not like I'm a bad reader per se. I'm probably a slow reader just because I haven't practiced reading that much. But in school, I never read. I remember in 6th grade, for my first AR test, you had to read certain books and take an AR test to get points just for reading comprehension for school. And we needed 15 points. At the time, there were 3 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books out. And if you don't know what Diary of a Wimpy Kid is, educate yourself. For my generation, very important books. But there were 3 of them out, all 3 worth 5 points. It's essentially a glorified comic book is what it is. And I used my brain and remembered, oh, I've read 3 of these books already. I know what these books are about. So instead of reading new books and gaining more knowledge and actually trying for this AR test, I can just take a test on these 3 books, hopefully get 100%, and then there's my 15 points solved. And that's exactly what I did, and it paid off for that one semester. The problem was every single semester you had to get 15 points. And I'm pretty sure that may have been the only time I actually reached my AR goal, was when I cheated the system and just took tests on books that I read. I also remember in the semesters following that I used to try and cheat the system as well, like taking tests on books on the NBA player Dwayne Wade, because I already had prior knowledge to him. So I was thinking, I could probably take these tests and guess on the answers and get pretty close. Turns out I was not as good at guessing as I thought, and I didn't really get the points I was aiming for off those tests, so that didn't really go well. But this is a book that I bought recently, and it's interesting. I haven't read a lot of it. I really only read it in the library, I'll admit, but I like the idea of reading it. I like to think when I'm bored or say I get tired late at night and I'm done playing video games that I'll pick this up and start reading it. It's nothing really that could teach me anything per se. I was drawn to it because of Robin Williams, you know? He's a cool guy. Comedian, inspirational, funny guy, and then he, not mysteriously, but suddenly ended his own life in a dramatic fashion. And I was reading a little bit about it, and it was talking about his Alzheimer's and how that was happening and how that was progressing. And it reminded me of my grandparents because they went through a similar thing. They're not quite as famous as Robin Williams, but it talked about how he was just losing it. Sorry. Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. I'm here just filming outside this balcony window. That's where I'm getting the light from. And out there in the parking lot, one second, I'll flip it around to show you. This person, you see the blinking lights? This red car's been out there for a while, I think, and they're finally starting to get suspicious about it, maybe. I'm guessing this person is just like a security officer for the complex or something, and it looks like they're gonna tow it. Interesting. What do you say, Finny? What do you say, Finny? She's suspicious as well. But essentially what I'm trying to say is, I bought this book, haven't read much of it, but I found it perplexing. It was a book that I just picked up and started reading the random pages, and the random pages were interesting to me for a number of reasons. Cool, Robin Williams is cool, relatable in some ways, you know, whatever else. So now show and tell. I got this shirt at Goodwill, but also my trip Goodwill, I got maybe one of the better pickups I've gotten maybe ever in my many thrift adventures. This little number right here, let me actually toss it on for you. This little number right here, I mean, ooh, hey. I don't know. Well, yeah, I got this little Tommy jacket, little Tommy Hilfiger number, huh? How about that? I thought it was reversible because it has the reversible zipper, you see, that goes to both sides. But it's not reversible, so I don't really get the point of the reversible zipper. Is it maybe like if you zip it all the way up, you can put the zipper inside? I don't really know. But it's a really nice jacket, you know, it's kind of like short, which is good. It doesn't dangle too far. It's cinched at the end, you know. It's also got cool pockets. Here, let me tilt that again. It's got cool pockets. So obviously it's got your natural pockets here, but it's got fabric on this side, and then the pocket itself has its own 2 layers of fabric. So it's like 4 layers of fabric right here. So it's nice and thick. But then above it, you see these little flaps here? It's like this little whatever stuff, and there's fabric. But below the little flap is this little number on both sides. And they have their own double fabric. So not only is it a small little nice jacket, but it's very thick and very insulated and very warm and has a lot of pockets, and it's just kind of a little, this tripod that I have is slowly falling apart now too. But it's a little cute little jacket. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I have to share. Show and tell though, that's good. One second, I got another thing. Now, I am what you might call a connoisseur of things, of candy per se, and especially of sour candy. That is my preferred vice, almost. Airhead Bites would strongly suggest, they're like, or Airhead Sour Patch Kids Bites. They're like Sour Patch Kids, but they're the heads, basically. But they're not just the heads, they're a little, you see, they're a little thicker than your normal Sour Patch Kid. And it's just like a perfect little bite size. Fanny Carol. Okay, well, one more thing, I guess. I feel like an old man. My knee recently, my right knee has recently started to bother me. I'm not sure what to do about it. It's mildly alarming. It's gonna be hard for me to show on camera, and I'm not gonna, here, I guess I'll give it one shot. You can't really see it because I have sweats on. This is not gonna go well at all. But essentially, this is my right knee right here. It feels like my right hip is like going down at an angle, and my knee is now angled more inward than it needs to be. It feels like my knee should be faced straight, and my foot, when I make my knee feel like it's straight as it should be, my foot becomes angled and lifts off the ground. It's kind of alarming. Knee injuries run in my family, and they are genetic. I don't know, I don't feel great about it. I think I should go visit the doctor for it sometime here soon. But that's my life, guys. That's what I've been up to. Just still working. Got this book, hung out with Sophie McGill, got this jacket, got this shirt, got the cats. That's it. I don't really know. I hope you're doing well, though. I'm chilling. I was kind of stressed there for a week. This past weekend had some drama, had some overlap with work, some stuff that wasn't my fault, but I felt like it was my fault, and I felt bad, and it was a whole ordeal, but we move. And I talked to the guy that was involved in it yesterday, and he said no worries, so we're chilling. That is all for this week's episode of the Procrastinator Podcast. You have been fantastic as always, or I have been your host, Matthew B. Stein. You have been fantastic. No, you're staying here. You have been fantastic as always. And I'll see you in next week's episode of the Procrastinator Podcast. Oh, the Finny girl. She looks so happy. Okay. Bye. See you.